crushing it on Wednesdays. Do you hear me? Shut up, Nika. Let's go. Men's over us. It ain't different. Listen, it's women crushing it Wednesdays. OGs hooking up in the kitchen. Call it being range. Nika's opinions leave you kids days. Men's O's an unforgettable fighter. With a fist raised, we talking offense and defense. Cause if you get knocked out, it's all in a pretense. We put lights out like D10s. Christine, so pristine, you gotta respect the queen's gift. Just sit back and enjoy the views. Opinions are plentiful, but it's for y'all to choose. Women crushing it Wednesdays. Let's get into it. It hit different.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. Yay.
Though right now, you know how many angry viewers you got right now? Like, what's that dude doing here? It says Women Crushing Wednesday, and you got this dude right here, and then he's wearing a beanie. Like, what's going on right now? Like, Wounded Warriors Project. Make sure you guys support the veterans. By the way, just throwing that out there. All right.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the thing is that Crystal is on her way to California. I'm meeting her there tomorrow. We have a national tournament there, so she's there, working late. So it's like, you know what? I have to give you props because, you show up when I need you to. So thank you so much, brother. DC, for those who don't know.
It's just kind of what I do. I just show up right on time. You know what I mean?
You just show up.
I'm clutch.
Right on time. No,
I'm that clutch dude. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Arthur that does our fabulous thumbnail. And of course, Almighty Kane with that intro. I mean, it's just, we're vibing over here. I don't think anyone has to. Like, I really don't. Like, I mean, we're like legit the best intro. Just saying. Music-wise.
For women, yeah. It's got a good vibe for women. Yeah.
Oh, did you say for women? Oh, okay. I say period. I don't differentiate. But
it's the best women's.
No, thank you.
But you know what it is? It's the best women's intro. Period.
Yeah, absolutely. Period. Oh, you're funny. You're funny. Yes. Period. Best women's intro. Period. We've had a lot of bodies on, like we really have. I'm always like singing praises to Joshua Edwards, 2024 heavyweight Olympian, like always banging my tambourine, like he is going to be the next American heavyweight superstar. A lot of people criticized his performance, his last performance. I want to touch on that, but we will in a second, because I also want to mention that Richard Torrez also last weekend, and that we noticed in his corner he did not have his father there. He had a new coach. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Wayne McCullough from Ireland, and that was rumored to be his last fight with Top Rank. So I don't know if you knew that or not, but talk to me about the two performances and what you foresee in the future for both, because our guys right now, these are our guys.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I did see some of the highlights and stuff, but I didn't like watch the fights. Not those fights anyway. So I don't want to sit here and bullshit you and break down something I didn't see.
Right.
But those are some interesting facts that you gave me there. I did not know that's the last fight with Top.
Like I said, I have been singing their praises. Well, Joshua's praises. I mean, Richard Torrez, he's amazing. But he and that 2020 Olympic team with Top Rank, they hadn't been doing as well as I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, they were
What say
moving
you?
Torres a little too slow. I don't know if that's why Torres is moving on, or if he's moving on because it's just greener pastures and other sides because Top Rank doesn't have a TV deal right now. You know what I mean? Or sometimes
Yeah.
it's just a mutual thing. Both sides kind of agree and they move on. I
But
really don't know what the issue is.
well, I mean, there could also be like X amount of years, where the
Mm,
contract is. And then, if you it's like some management, you win a world title or whatever, then we extend it. I don't know what the contract
right.
read. I just heard that that was the last fight with Top Rank. So without them having a home as far as TV, and then him not having a home as well,
Is it
I'm
was
just
his
really
last? So
curious.
is it a situation where it's his last contractual fight, but he may negotiate with them again, or he's just done with them?
You know, is that that was his last fight with them.
Mm.
I'm not sure if they're going to negotiate. His performance was good. I think he knocked the guy out in like the first round. And then we know that Joshua Edwards is with Golden Boy. And like I
I
said, I
could
keep
have
seeing him
literally
drop his
watched that.
shoulders.
I probably did watch. If it was only around, I probably did watch the whole
It
thing. You know,
was
because I saw some highlights. How long?
yeah, it was very short. A lot of
Hmm.
people were not very impressed with his performance.
Hmm.
Eric Gomez said, moving from dad to a real trainer is a good idea for these boxers. I mean, I think so. And
Sure.
I definitely want to talk about that because we have a lot of more dads that we're going to be talking about because
Yeah.
we have the sons fighting. Um, I don't think that a dad should totally be removed from the corner. I think that there's a bond, a trust. And dads get them from A to B to C. And then once we get up there in the pros, that's when we need to call on the professionals. So,
Right.
Richard's dad at all,
I
as far as
just.
I'm concerned, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it. Just my issue is this, right?
Hmm.
I'm not like I don't have a hard rule that I don't want the dads training these kids because at the end of the day, there's dads that do a really
Oh,
good
sure.
job and have done phenomenal. Like Inoue's trained by his dad. Like, he's doing amazing things. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't think it's a
Uh,
rule. It's like a rule for all dads. I
right.
don't think so.
But there is a dad problem in boxing, in my opinion. Like there
There
is
is.
too much because it's beyond. It's not just that they're training these kids. It's that they're
It
hogging
really
the spotlight. They do more interviews than the kids. They talk more shit than the kids, right? And in many cases, people start to, and this is unfair to the fighters, but they start to dislike the fighter because of the
because of the
fathers.
dad.
Yeah. So
Do you think that it is the American dads or do you see it internationally? Because as you just mentioned, in a way,
mhm.
I mean, are there
Well, like
other,
yeah, maybe you can look at Papachenko with Lomachenko. Look at there was no drama
yeah, from him,
outside really.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like for me, Papachenko trained Usyk to win a heavyweight title, right?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
to me, it's like if they're not, if I don't, it's always a red flag to me when I don't. It's not a hard rule or nothing, right? But it's a red flag to me when they're not able to train other fighters and they're just kind of just with their sons, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how I'll
Yeah.
feel about that. But there's always outliers. Kawasaki was trained by his dad, who never even boxed, and then look at how he did. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I just
That
think
is true.
it's just is it an American dad? Like I'm thinking about that right now. There's always
Yeah.
been fathers training their sons, and they eventually break away. But it, I guess it is like an American dad thing right now.
JC said they're all going to join TKO now. What are your thoughts on that? Because so much uncertainty with TKO. I mean, what do they
Mm.
really stand for? What are they really doing?
Sure.
The alleged pain for people to throw fights, the pay grade for some of the, which for the ones that are like a pro box fighter, okay, the pay grade looks good, but once we
Mhm.
get up there, like the big dogs, is it
So you cut off at the very end there for the
Okay, I
big dog.
said so TKO. Obviously Dana had an alleged situation where
Mhm.
he was paying people to throw fights. We don't know yet if that was factual or not. And then also the pay
Sure.
grade, sure, like pro box fighters, that out. And I use pro box because they're doing a marvelous job with these up and coming. The pay looks good, but what about the middle guys? Is
Uh,
TKO gonna last?
we don't know if it's going to last or not. It could last a year. It can last 20 years. We don't know, right? They got to start operating first. But if you ask me to guess, I do think they're going to last because they're going to be the main ones getting the backing from the Saudis. That's why they're going to last, right?
Yeah.
I think we're seeing a lot of the last of the Mohicans. A lot of the guys getting the big bags. If you're looking at them, outside of Shakur and like there's Haney, even Norman. We'll talk about them later, but like they're young
Yeah.
guys, right? And on the younger side, Teofimo and Shakur, I believe, are making 10 million each. So good for them. But
Yeah.
for the most part, a lot of these older fighters, they're going to retire, and then look, there's no way you're not going to get a Shakur Stevenson a TKO. That's not going to happen. I don't think anybody's delusional to believe that. But a
Right.
Richard Torrez, sure, why not? Why can't Richard Torrez be part of TKO? We might actually see him in better fights than all these mismatches Top Ranks be putting him in, right?
I mean,
As
that's
far as
true.
I'm
You do have a
concerned.
point there. You do have a
Uh,
point
but
there.
but the but for me, one as far as well, not so much TKO or even Dana himself. Um, from my understanding, Dana White is the one that called the FBI when he found that a fight was suspicious, right? We need to make sure that if athletes in any sport took part in fixing fights, that does
Hmm.
not mean that the league is responsible for what that fighter was doing to fix that fight. Um, like the alleged stuff going on with the NBA and those charges, that they're going to have their day in court to prove their innocence. But that doesn't mean that the NBA commissioner, that the NBA as a whole is corrupt. It means that there were certain people involved in illegal gambling activities, right?
Right. Right.
So we'll wait and see what happens with that. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't think there's anything's really going to happen as far as the UFC goes, to be honest with you. And the reason I say that, even if he's guilty, I mean, he's best friends with like the president who oversees the DOJ and the FBI, so nothing's gonna come of it. Like even if that's the
Yeah.
case, if I'm just transparent and honest with you, but if there's there, then I'll call the there. But we don't have a lot of information, to be quite frank. Um, but
That's true.
we will see as
These
far
are
as
all
TKO. But
allegations for sure.
I don't think Torres goes with TKO though. I think if anything, I mean, Matchroom keeps saying they're going to grow Matchroom USA, so why not go to Matchroom?
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
an option. Matchroom does very well with heavyweight, so maybe Torres gets a crack at AJ after AJ's done with Jake. You know,
So, oh, okay. So if you had to, I don't know, just predict, like if you're a
Mhm.
betting man and you had to say, you know what, we have Richard Torres, Edwards, I say whoever is going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world, who would you put out? Why?
Of those two,
Yeah, of those two. I mean, who else is there in the USA right now?
oh, the USA man, that limited a lot.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It limits a lot. I mean, when's the
You
last
know,
time we had a hero here?
look, I'm not the guy that liked Bridgerweight. I just did it, but it's there,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
I wasn't either.
But I have to be honest. I just think Richard Torres is too small for
Mm,
a lot of these big heavyweights,
mm-hmm.
and he's a very skilled fighter, but I don't know if his skills are enough to overcome the size difference
Right,
with a lot of these big dudes. Um, I would
right.
like to see Richard Torres. If we're going to take Bridgerweight serious, let's get some serious contenders on there, and I would like to see him at Bridgerweight. To be honest with you.
Again, this is where, I know. that his father was a boxer and did not want his son to have the weight loss and the being drained and everything. And this is
Mm,
why he just let him grow and be who he was,
sure.
and he became a heavyweight. This is another example of why you need a professional or somebody else in there too. And I love his dad. I love him. I love his dad. But this is where needs to be a professional that has been there before and could say, you know what, no, the best route for your son is this. So I am glad to see that somebody else there. I do still want to see his dad there, and I hope that we do get that. But if I had to pick between the two, I would have to go with Joshua. And the reason why I say that is because Joshua with Golden Boy does have a home. He does have
Yeah.
a contract. It is still, and right now there are so many unknowns about Richard Torres. So that is why I pick who I pick. You know,
And by the way,
but
I hope
that
I'm
is.
wrong. I hope Richard Torres was out there and does kind of like what
Oh,
Andy
I do
Ruiz
too.
did and knocks the dude out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
becomes
yeah.
heavyweight champion.
Oh, me
But
too. Me too. Absolutely. It's just looking at what it is right now. You know, current day.
yeah,
Um. So some of
100%.
these comments, I think Moses Utama as, in my opinion, Joshua Edwards and Utama would be a much better fight. Man, yeah, that Utama is something else, and he's
I think
young and he's just
Itama's a
gonna
real
grow.
deal, and he might be the reason a lot of guys don't become world champion. I'll just put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, I totally agree with you. Let's talk about. I really want to talk about the Eubank versus Ben
Oh
two fight.
man,
Um, I'm just gonna. I was wrong on my prediction. I really thought that Eubank Jr. again was gonna take it, and I was
I,
so dead wrong.
you
What were
you
your
know, well, I was
predictions?
dead wrong too. I said his only way of winning is if he hurt some with something big or like. But look,
Hmm.
I honestly would just go. I was just going off of the way he fought Eubank the first time and the way he was fighting before that.
Yes, same, same.
He utilized a very important tool, and I think it's the reason he won the fight, and that's the
Yeah,
jab, right? I
yeah,
mean, I think the jab of Connor Benn was just on point. Going
yeah,
high, going low, with it, going his body upstairs, mixing it up. It just disrupted. Eubank couldn't get in a rhythm the whole fight,
no,
and then the fight was slipping away. And then that also opened the door for Conor Benn to start using his explosiveness. We started seeing that
hmm,
again, and quite frankly, look, I don't like making excuses, and I said this the other day. I think he was just as wagering this time as it was the last time.
yeah,
The difference was at this time he needed to find that extra gear to
hmm,
get in the fight, and he didn't have
hmm,
it.
yeah,
He didn't need it the first time. This time he needed
right,
it, and he
right,
didn't have anything in the reservoir to pick up the pace and keep up with Ben once Ben got control of the fight. And
yeah, I
that's why
totally
for
agree.
me, if if you're gonna continue fighting, bro, it's got to be above 160 pounds. Like that. That's what I
And
will
and
say.
and, and to me, like Eubank had zero legs. Like he looked like a
Mm.
newborn baby deer. You know,
Bambi
from
legs.
the
Yeah.
beginning to me. And Ben was just full of energy, like the Energizer Bunny. In the first fight, Ben was too close. He was fighting very close distance. He was almost on top of Eubank. But this
Yeah.
time, like you said, he found his range. He was like mid distance, throwing his jab. And I thought that was just like the perfect plan, and he did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah. But like you know what's funny to me anyway is that on paper, when you look at both fighters, like you would think that forcing a fight on the inside would benefit Ben, but it didn't. Right? Like it's
Yeah,
just
right. He needed to be
you would.
mid distance like he was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was just brilliant. There was just the game plan was just better in that fight, or at least he was able
yeah,
to execute it. I will
absolutely.
say, look, Eubank landed some good shots on him
Yeah,
early, but they just didn't
absolutely.
do anything.
Well,
This
because
time they
Ben
weren't
was
effective in him.
Yeah, whenever you're dehydrated, whenever you're weight drained, those shots affect you. But he wasn't. I was really about Eubank again, and I don't know why he posts this. I just think that that's like something you shouldn't do. Where he was laying in the little sauna bed, and just showing us that he needed the sauna to get down, the last few pounds or whatever it was. That's when I started worrying. Like, you should not use the sauna unless you have like the last day, like a couple of ounces
Yeah.
or a pound that you got to get off. And he did. And I was just like really worried when I
Hey,
saw
I
that.
thought I thought maybe it's different than an actual sauna, but I thought the sauna was illegal in the UK.
I don't know the rules
Remember,
in the
was it
UK.
Casimiro? Somebody was like, they canceled the fight, and he was like,
Seems as though, you know what, I do remember that vaguely. Maybe
I don't remember it
the
was
one that you
Casimiro. I know it was
walk in,
somebody.
but not the one that you lay into. I don't know. It's more like a sauna suit. So I don't know. But it's
Oh,
heated,
that could be it. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Plus, they weren't gonna cancel this fight. They would
No,
just
no,
look
no.
over
And
that.
and,
You know
and
what I mean? So,
the thing is that I mean they're royalty in the UK. And
but
it's
I know the real reason he lost. We can do all the breakdown
what's
we
the real
want. But I know
reason?
why he lost. I know exactly why he
Why?
lost. Right?
Why?
There's a thing in boxing. This is a real thing. Right?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
the rapper curse. Right?
Uh,
When the rapper actually raps and he's walking you out to the ring, and the song's already playing with the lyrics, but he's rapping too. Right? They always lose. Every single time they
oh,
get knocked out, something happens. It always happens.
oh, is that right? Is that right? Oh shit! Excuse me.
We got two Christines. I get
I
two
know. Sorry
Christines.
about
I get
that.
them not just one. I get two.
No, we don't need to. Well, I need to sometimes,
I don't know if I could
but
stand two, to be honest with you, but maybe it's a
oh
50
my
Cent
goodness,
curse. Do you remember what 50
is
Cent did
that
to
what it
Gumboa's
was?
career?
Yeah, I
Look
do.
at what happened to Gumboa when he started walking Gumboa out. He went from like
That's
this
true. You're
beast to
right.
like all of a sudden he was out. So
Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
yeah, it
technical
was Casimiro
difficulties.
before he fought Paul Butler, but he was probably in an actual sauna. Like you know what I mean, inside a sauna. He probably didn't know it, well, that was against the rules, and there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, but so we know that they're both boxing with their fathers and them. And I mean, this is a question for my UK people. Like, do we need to see a third one? Like, is this something that people want to see again? I mean, we're 1-1.
I
We're 1-1, and usually when we're 1-1,
mhm.
we want to see that third one just and to say, yes, whoever is the winner. Do we want to see that again? I mean, I don't want to see it again, but I'm just saying.
Here's why I don't. I say no
Okay.
because I mean I just don't think Eubank, even in the first fight, I don't think he looked healthy at that weight. Right.
Yeah,
Even in the
I
one he
agree.
won, I did not like the way he looked at the weigh-in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and now it's obviously affected him. Right. At least people are
Hmm.
saying it did. Right. So the
I
only
agree.
like for him to be healthy, it would have to be above that weight. But at the same time, Conor Benn is not that big of a guy. He wants to go back down to 147, right?
Right.
So logistically, the fight, like that, their bodies aren't agreeing on when them doing the third fight. Like
Hmm.
it's gonna be too high for Ben, and they do a third one, and or it's gonna have to be too low for Eubank. It just doesn't
I
work
agree.
out. Let's just move on.
Yeah,
Is what I
I
say.
totally agree with you. I really do. We've got so I don't want to see it again. I don't know what my UK. I don't want to see it. I do agree with you about the weights being just so lopsided and so off, for either one. It's just
Ironically, I
not.
didn't want to see the rematch because I thought, I mean, Eubank already beat him. It wasn't that close, and then here we are, right? So I
Yeah,
don't
here
know.
we are. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Um, we have Haney and Norman Jr. coming up this weekend. You know, so I want to know your and why.
What you cut off there? Which fight?
I said, I'm sorry. So Haney and Norman Jr.
Okay.
predictions. and why?
I got Norman winning this fight. I do believe he will stop Haney late in this fight. I think Norman is too. He's going to be too strong. He's got that country strength. I think he's not faster than Haney, but he's not slow either. He'll be able to keep up with him. Um, and I also think Norman is a much smarter fighter, has a much higher IQ in that ring than people give him credit for. He's not just this brainless brawler or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he's also a very physical fighter. And I've been thinking, like honest to God, I was thinking about this just earlier today actually. When is the last time Haney got in the ring with a dude that is a real physical, like blunt force trauma type of fighter like that? And by that I mean, like if you try to hold him, he'll push you against the ropes. He'll match your energy, right? Like this is a
Yeah.
very strong guy.
Yep.
Who I mean, I seen him just grab guys and just shove them against the ropes from one side of the ring to the other. He's a very strong welterweight, and he's very mean in the ring. He's a nice guy outside the ring, but in the ring, he's a very mean dude, and
Yep.
he's very physical. And you add that with the fact that he's also a much smarter fighter than people give him credit for.
Yep.
I think it's a recipe of disaster for Haney. I think Norman wins the fight.
In saying that, so let's say you're correct, okay, and Haney loses. Would that be the end? I'm not saying the end like he would never fight again. I would use him for his name and his
Sure.
experience and his record. But would that, in your mind, be the end as far as building himself back, becoming a champion?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do. If he loses the way I think he's gonna lose, I wouldn't be shocked if he retires.
Okay.
Like I
Um,
wouldn't be shocked if he pulls a Prince Asim Hamed after Barrera beat him up. It wouldn't shock me.
okay.
I'm yeah, and I think it's you remember how like Barrera. I just kind of randomly brought that fight up, but just roughed
Yeah.
up Prince Asim Hamed, and in the middle, roughing up was
Yeah.
also outboxing him, and everyone thought like Barrera is just a brawler who like Nasim Hamed said. Then he just started outboxing him using his jab and countering him. I think it's gonna be that type of performance, and I'm very surprised that Norman is just a slight favorite. Like it's basically almost even in the odds, and I think that shows that the odd makers at least are showing respect to Norman. And
Absolutely.
maybe they have reservations a little bit about Haney, but I think Haney's going to get roughed up, and he's going to realize he's met his match. And I want people to know this: the JoJo fight, JoJo was putting hands on Haney. He just couldn't hurt Haney.
Mm-hmm.
Now Haney won the fight. Don't get me wrong, right? But in my mind, I'm like, if that was Norman, that fight don't even last 5 rounds, right? Like Haney
Right.
cannot afford to take the type of punches he's taking from guys that were lightweights against Norman. He
Yeah.
just can't. And
Yeah.
I just don't think Haney, outside of the Prograis performance, Haney is not this
And
guy
and
that's
and,
like
and many can argue and
untouchable.
say progress was already his legs were already leaving him. He was already on his way out. I'm just saying away from Haney, but there was some discussion about that. Um, and like I said, I don't want to take anything away from him, but that was just here. Um, I want to go real quick to Red Corner Boxing. Yes, so Crystal is on her way, meeting her there tomorrow. We're going to be there for nationals, so she's not available tonight. And then Nike had to work late, so my guy, my brother, up and he jumped in. So that's I'm really happy for that.
But by the
Um,
way, I keep hearing people say, "Oh, I hope Haney isn't allowed to hold." And I'm just telling you guys right now, I mean this. I honestly
yeah.
don't think he's going to try to hold Norman. I just don't think he's going to try to do it. I just don't. Norman is going to ragdoll him if he tries to do that. Like I believe that. So
Like knock him to the ground. Like Yeah, I
No,
agree.
he'll just like he'll move
I
like
mean,
he's not
I
going to
can
be able
see
to.
him throwing him on the ground. If he grabs him, I could see him like literally
He's a
throwing him on
mean
the
dude.
ground.
Norman ain't messing around in the ring. Like I'm just saying, right? And Norman's made me a
You know,
lot of money. Norman's made me a lot of
eh,
money in these fights. Like so,
yeah. I don't want to take anything away from Haney. I mean, his IQ is just so high. It really is. Oh, yay. Thank you, this motherfucking long-winded. Let Christine talk. Yeah, let me talk. Let me talk. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me talk. So, Haney has a very high IQ. He can box, you know, and usually he's long distance on the outside doing his thing. Norman Jr. He is more like mid distance, close distance, but he's got those power shots. I that and then the two dads. We've got that. We've got the two
mm,
dads. Um, and Haney Sr. has not been as vulnerable. As we've seen in the past, he may have met his match. I don't know. Does that do something to his son? I worry about his son's mentality. Haney's, after that, even though the Ryan Garcia loss was wiped off his record, now he's 32-0. We really know that did something to him mentally. And then now his dad is getting out talked. Does that do something to him? So I have Norman Jr. For the win, and he actually has more knockouts actively two fights. And I really and I really do believe that Brian Norman Jr. is going to win. That just brings us to another, again, to the dads. We talked about Richard Torres' dad not being in the corner. um, Dads, you said a lot of the times that the dads talk more and they do more interviews and all this other stuff than the sons. We see that all the time, taking over the mic. um, if you had to give them some advice, what is some advice you'd give them?
to the dads.
Yeah. Or to the fighter, like, should they be like, you know what, Dad, thank you for bringing. I appreciate you so much, but now I just need you to kind of sit back, and maybe we bring somebody else
In my
in,
honest
and maybe.
opinion, the dads need to take a back seat a little more. You know what I mean? That's sometimes it feels like they want to be the center of attention, like they're living vicariously through their sons. Is what it
Yeah,
feels like to me.
I totally agree with that. I think
100%.
that, and we want to see the fighters more. I mean, just like, what, it's so great to see, like, coaches being, and the parents or whatever, but we really want to hear from the fighter. We really do. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Red Corner. Saturday is going to be pure fire. Mason to steal the show. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that, and I think you're in the majority. I really do. I think he's gonna really show. I haven't questioned like him or doubted him. He's been putting on some great. He's young, and I was like, okay, let's see how long he can like last, on this trajectory to stardom. Seems like he's doing it. Do you agree? Is Mason going to steal the show?
Look, I was looking at his opponent, some of his fights. It's hard to kind of, I guess, figure out really how good he is for real. Because he's getting a lot
Yeah,
of knockouts and he looks good, right?
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
looks really good in the ring. But I got
yeah.
like,
He does.
it's hard to like, is he really that good? Like, but Mason, I think is a real
Right.
deal. I think Mason is the real deal, and I think
Yeah.
he should win this fight. Um, I'm thinking like mid range stoppage is or mid round stoppage. I apologize.
Yeah,
Is when he
I
should win this
don't
fight.
believe that I'm questioning his talent, anything like I do. I don't
Yeah.
question Boots' talent. I'm just saying that I don't have the same questions that as I do for Boots. Yeah. I think Bam will have the most impressive performance. That's going to be another good one. Loss number 3, I will say that dads do bring entertainment when the fighters are not charismatic. That is very true because we do come across boxers that are wanting to be in front of the camera. They're not entertaining, and I don't want to say that they're boring, but they answer the questions that are brought before them, and there's nothing. And then here come the dads. So there is times when we need the fluff. I get it,
For
but
sure.
I think that they just need to know when to. Um,
Shout out to the people on my platform watching. They love to hear me talk. So I'm going to talk for as long as I want to talk. I'm just going to put that out there. Right? Like if you don't want to hear me talk, then don't fucking listen. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna put that out there. Just gonna throw that out there. All right?
I
Like I don't know. Maybe you should. Maybe they should get invited to come on here and talk.
he's mad. I think Mason will
No, I'm
catch
not mad. But
Milwaukee's
somebody's
comedian
gonna disrespect me. I'll
Mason will-
disrespect them back. I don't care who they are.
If your dad has, they didn't disrespect you. They just said they wanted to hear me talk. Calmate way. If
It is
your
what
dad
it
has to be
is. It is what it
charismatic
is.
for you, the boxer should go. I don't know if I agree with that because there's so many different personalities, you know.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, should they go into a different personalities, right?
I mean, I don't. Are they charismatic? I mean, I don't know. It's
Some are. I mean, some are. Some are. It's like I think that they just been and when not to. I don't know. I mean, and I guess that's hard. I mean, that's hard to gauge that. It probably is very
sure.
hard to gauge that. So I don't know. I'm
But
just gonna switch.
Bill's a charismatic. I don't like him much, but he is a charismatic guy.
He is charismatic.
I
He
don't know
is
if his son's
charismatic for
charismatic. His
sure.
son keeps stealing all of Floyd Mayweather's lines, but that aside,
So yeah, what about that? Like he was
uh,
called out, and was kind of yeah,
but he's been doing that for a while, right?
yeah.
Like
But
this has
nobody
been
was
a
like
thing
really.
of like he's a B minus fighter. I'm an A plus fighter. Like and it's just
Yeah,
that type of
yeah,
stuff. That was a
yeah.
Floyd Mayweather thing with Gotti. He was doing it with Ryan.
Mm.
And then he just got busted the last time. I don't know how Norman I wouldn't have caught that to be honest with you, but Norman memorized it, right?
Well, I mean,
And
he's obviously a boxing head and watches interviews and watches his
sure,
favorite fighters, and so he just could pinpoint it. Which I mean, respect to him.
sure.
Um, so they're floating around. There's rumors floating around that Clarissa Shields and Franchon
Hmm.
Dezern Cruz are getting ready to face each other again. But before we go there, it's not official. They already fought once, and we know that it was early on in Franchon's career, and she lost against Clarissa. But then we just saw also that Clarissa got this $8 million deal, um, and we heard about the rumor a little bit more because even Franchon put out some videos and some things kind of hinting after the $8 million alleged deal. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not gonna say alleged deal. We're gonna get sued. Okay, I'm not.
No,
She
no,
got $8
no,
million
no,
dollars,
no.
right?
Allegedly,
She got the money. She
possibly.
got the money.
Yeah, we're gonna
Um,
talk about that.
but like that's cool. Good for her, right? You know what? I don't mind the fight. Franchon Cruz versus Carissa Shields. That was they both made their pro debuts against each other, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
got that
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
So they've
Yes,
both grown a lot since then. They both won a whole lot of titles since then. Clarissa more than her, obviously, but Clarissa's got more than
yes,
everybody, so it is what it is. But
yes.
do I think Franchon could win? No. But who else is Shields going to fight?
Yeah, and that was my
I
point
mean,
too. Like,
there's the green fight, right? But I mean, Franchon Cruz beat Green, so
yeah.
kind of are where we are, right?
But it doesn't really like a lot of times they'll say, okay, well, so Green, you know, a loss to Franchon, so that means automatically Clarissa would beat her because she, beat Franchon. It doesn't always trickle down like that. It doesn't always work
I
that
agree
way.
with that. Yeah, I know what you
Um,
mean.
I still would like to mind seeing Green and Franchon rematch, especially after Green's big win that she had with MVP. Scene, there seems to be some real heat, some real fire between Clarissa and Green. Um, but I agree, like they both won titles, and I would love to see that rematch. I think it'll look different. I think it'll look different. I really do. So I like it. And I hope they do announce it, because really, like you said before, who else can Clarissa fight? Like, really? I mean, fights Franchon and then Green, or Franchon fights, Shields and then Green again. Um, so, uh, I don't know. They need to really
Hmm.
boost that.
Look,
And
I
you know
want to
what? Great.
see. Go ahead.
No, records for putting money into women. It's very risky because that weight class, it's yeah, it's very risky. And what were you gonna say?
I think the Green versus Shields fight, if promoted right, is a big fight, right? Like Green has that big win over Marshall, and that
Yes,
was a great fight too. That could have gone either way, but Green got it right, and she was a big
hmm
underdog in
hmm
that fight. And Marshall is the girl that gave Shields like her best fight. So I
absolutely.
think she has a style that can. I'll be honest, I don't think she could beat Shields, but I think she could give Shields the best fight.
Yeah,
And who knows? She might prove me wrong, just like she did in the Marshall fight and beat Shields. Who knows, right? But that's a
yeah,
fight I want to see. But I only mentioned the fact that Cruz beat her, right? Because that's how they're going to basically market it. Like well, she already beat
absolutely.
Green, so
Right.
you can't really knock the fight. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
hey, I'm all. I wouldn't mind a Green, Cruz Zern rematch either. So
Yeah, and depending on how Green looks, and I think a lot, it might be another Serrano Taylor, trilogy. I mean, she looks now. There's another one, Ramirez Boxing 24.7 Mayer versus Shields. That is also, something that's been talked about. And man, listen, that would be fire because I know just social media looking whenever Mayer was going to fight Baumgartner. We know that Shields and Mayer came up together, USA Boxing, my sister, we were sisters, we're good friends. And then we saw how Clarissa had jumped to support Baumgartner. I mean, women, look, we don't forget anything. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Women don't forget. And I just wonder in the back of her mind, you know what? Yeah, we're sisters, but I don't forget that you did pick Baumgartner to
I
beat
will
me.
say I really like that Mayor Shields fight. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
it'll get personal right away. For like, I think Shield will find a reason to make it personal when it really isn't. I don't know why, but remember that Australian girl, I forget the name, but like just went to go watch her train, and then Shields got in
Yeah.
her face, and I don't know who you think you are watching me train. What, you think you have a shot to beat me or what? Like, it's like, goddamn.
bro, bro, women are different. They're different. So I'm
Like,
just
I don't know you.
saying.
What you think because you're here watching me train that you think you could beat me or what? Like I don't know what's
I
like.
mean, if she didn't
You
at
know.
her, she could twist it however she wants to. She really can. Um, but and then speaking of, Clarissa Shields, as Red Corner Boxing brought up, so Clarissa and Chicken have teamed up in Dallas, and they're doing a boot camp, November 12th through the 14th. And I had seen some of Chicken's posts saying that it was totally sold out immediately, but then they open up
Mhm.
some new slots, which I think is beautiful. are going to teach fundamentals, strength, empowerment. And I love this because I an influx of girls coming to my gym, and more girls and women more interested. And I think this does nothing cause,
Mhm.
so I love it. I think it's great. So if anyone's interested and if they have more slots, go to social media, and see. But I love that. I totally support that. Um, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, got an $8 million um, contract, and she's going to go back, you know, and things for the local women in DFW. What are your thoughts on that?
Do you remember the? It wasn't from you, but remember the beef that occurred with you and Clarissa?
I never had beef with Clarissa.
No, I'm not saying that's why.
I never had beef with Clarissa.
But she had beef with you.
She did. She had beef with me, and that's fine. It's because I had Katie above her. But it's a boxing opinion. That doesn't mean I don't like Clarissa or I don't take anything away from her. It's just we all have our favorites. We have our top 10, our
So
top
so
5, our top 3. Um, and that was just my pick, and Katie's still my pick.
you know,
But it's okay. I mean, it's okay. Personally, who am I? I'm nobody. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Now
It is what
granted,
it
you
is.
did say you weren't talking about the quote that belongs to Shields. You made that clear, but she's still
I
gonna have
made
it.
it
So, you know
very
what I mean?
clear. She is the GWO. That is her name. I made it very
Right.
clear about that. But it's again, women are different, and they read things and
So,
and
so,
see things
so
differently.
the reason I'm saying
And
all
and
that
I was like, where are we going here? Is she about to come on?
because no, I don't want to say something, and you don't want to say something where we didn't even mean to. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not going to be what we say. It's going to be how she
Right.
interprets it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's about
So
interpretation
you know
and
what?
facility.
She got $8 million. God bless her. That's all I got to say.
Yes, absolutely.
I know Christine wants to say more. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to say more. I respect that because it doesn't matter how high up on the totem pole you are, no matter how much money you're making. I love to see when you can where you came from and give back. So that's what
Mhm.
I want to say. I don't know what you want to say, but that's what I want to say.
No, I said what I said. I don't
Yeah,
want to.
because I mean, I have respect for that, and I have respect for her, and I give her all her props, and I think that everything that she's accomplished, and any woman or man, that could go to the Olympics twice and get 2 gold medals, become undisputed,
Mhm.
and do all the things that she does, I have nothing but respect. Nothing but respect. It
Now I
it
will
doesn't
say
matter. It's about me.
so not me and you, but there's
Right.
people
Right.
out on social media
Uh-huh.
saying that they question the deal.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be do that. Um, I hope that everything is the way she says it to be. She has a new love in her life. Very happy. We've seen a shift in the way that she carries herself, and then she gets this deal, and while still being other things, and then we see her now giving back with chicken and the girls in DFW where I'm from. And there's always going to be people that are going to criticize. Do we know, what goes on the negotiation table and what's in the contract? We don't. We just go by what we see and what people put out. And
Mhm.
maybe it is correct and maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know.
For
Who
sure.
knows? You know? Um, So Eric says, if the quote gives me $8 million loan, it would make me no longer open question her deal. So we do have Eric. So Eric is questioning her deal. You
So
know.
he wants all her money in a loan, like in order for her to prove to him, like what's okay?
Well, the thing is this, what really does that mean? It's like I can say I have a sponsorship of like a little tiny like me. Um, oh, I have a $50,000, deal with, I don't know, Root to Fight, right?
Mhm.
So they send me, um, you know, uh, gift can buy whatever I want from them, up to $50,000, whatever. That would be great. By the way, Rootify, I do have a lot of your stuff. No, I'm just saying. So, what does that really look like? Or is somebody, is she being handed $8 million and the contract says she has to do this, this, and this, and person and that person? Like, what does it look like? We don't know. We don't know what it looks like.
Mm.
We don't know.
But
You know.
God bless her. God bless her and all
God
the
bless
$8 million
her.
that she got.
God bless her. I know she's had a very tough life, but who hasn't? And I'm just saying in general, we've
Mm.
all been through shit, and it does not give us a right to be ugly. It doesn't. We've all been through stuff. We've all been through stuff.
That's it. Remy's gonna get a suit.
No.
It happened.
But that's it, yeah. And Remy too. He's another one, and I have seen others that say the same thing. And you know what? That's fine. We all, sometimes we get penalized for it, but it's okay. Like I don't mind being blocked. I really don't. Like we're not best friends. We don't hang out on. It's okay. It doesn't affect my life. I promise.
Oh man.
Red Corner Box, he said no shade on the quote, but we all knew I'm paying this fee. Salado already dropped her then, signed her back, money drop, not gain. Yeah.
Christine only read the comment, by the way. That's all she
Would
did.
you say?
I'm just
Would you
saying,
say?
all Christine did was read the comment. That's all she did.
All it did was read. Don't come at me.
You're gonna get quoted like word for word.
Of course I am. Of course. Everything else is going to be cut out. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You put yourself out there, sometimes your words get twisted and people say what they say. So it's
Mm.
okay. Oh, Red Corner Boxing said Amanda Serrano blocked me. Nice. She's so nice. What did you do?
How do you get blocked by Amanda Serrano like that?
I know Amanda Serrano is so sweet. I don't know how you got blocked. Um, good evening. Good evening. You know, um, yeah. Oh, watch what you say. She might sue you like Punch. It's so funny because I don't even really know Punch Drunk, and I think it was so cool. Like he shouted me out on his show. So props to Punch Drunk. That was really nice. And obviously he knows that I do not, just really try to like downrate people. And I'm not perfect, trust me. There are some people that, no. But I shout out to him.
Mm.
Really, shout out to him. Generally, it's tougher to get a loan if somebody is self-employed and doesn't get a W-2. Oh, why that comment's there, but thank you. I'm self-employed, so yeah. Anyway, so here, last words, and thank you again for popping in. Um,
I feel like we're missing some bites though. Oh,
would you say you
Benavides,
feel
right?
like we're what? Would you say?
Benavides. Did we talk about Benavides?
We did not talk about Benavides. Benavides.
Man, you forgot about Benavides. Okay.
I know. How could I? Ooh, and this too. This too right here. Ooh, I do want to touch on that. Okay, Benavides. Let's go. I had Benavides winning.
I think um, the same thing that happens in every Anthony Yard fight's gonna happen. He's gonna start good. He's gonna have a big moment, and then it's gonna slip through his fingers. He's gonna get beat up and stopped. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I do agree with you. And Eric, we did talk about Bam, didn't we? We said that Bam was going to win. Did we?
Yeah,
I thought we
I
touched on it.
agree that Bam's going to win. I don't think we talked about him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We didn't
Shout out to
actually talk about
Bam,
it.
Texas.
Ooh, Eric Gomez says yards are going to shock the world.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I
for
don't
like a
mind if it
round.
happens. I don't
If-
mind if it happens, but I don't see. Don't.
no, he's
Uh,
gonna do that. He's gonna like shock everybody for a round or two, and then they lose. He always does that. Like it's gonna happen. That's his destiny.
funny.
He can't close the show. He can't close the deal. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see him winning this. So I do want to kind of bit before we get out of here. Anyone know how the RJJ Spence meeting went? So look,
Uh-oh.
I don't know how it went. I saw pictures. Obviously, I live in Dallas. Remy, thank you so much, brother. I messaged you the other day. I didn't get a response. Benavides was shown on my local news station, North Carolina. Big wow. So it was everywhere, all over social media. You know, they were taking pictures and everything. Look, all the respect in the Roy Jones Jr. as a fighter. Okay, all the respect in the world.
You could just stop right there. No.
Okay. Okay, but I won't. As a coach, I don't see the value. I've actually, one of my fighters actually fought one of his fighters long ago.
And you won.
He was the coach, and anyway, it didn't end well for them. It didn't end
You're
well
flexing.
for them.
You're flexing.
Okay.
Right?
It didn't, and I just don't see what he could bring to the table. I really don't, as a coach. As a coach. Just because you are an amazing, not mean that you're going to be an amazing coach, and just because you're an amazing coach doesn't mean you can box. You know, to be a coach, you have to be a teacher, and that's a thing, in my opinion. You can't always
Fair
show
point.
what you know. Just
Fair
saying.
point. While it's a fair point, and I don't really disagree much with what you said, I will say this: he did have some success, like with what's his name from Canada, Pascal. He had some success with him. And while
Did you see new tools coming out, or good already to begin with? I'm just saying, did you see some new things?
When he beat Butte, like he was kind of fighting like Roy a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But that doesn't mean Roy's a great trainer. Like, and you're right. Just because someone was a great fighter doesn't necessarily make them a great trainer, right?
Right.
And we've seen that. And if you look at the history of boxing, like not all, but most of the great trainers really weren't like these world class or best fighters. Yeah, some of them didn't even fight before. So 100%, right? Just like there's people in the comment section that think they know about commenting about, and doing shows that they don't know anything. That's why nobody watches their shit. Nobody listens to them, right? So it is like everyone thinks they know something. You know what I mean? Like everybody thinks they know something. Everybody wants a moment, but not everybody can have a moment, right? So the way I see it, all right, is Roy Jones, in fairness, Christine, he did say, look, I don't need to be his trainer. I don't need to guide his career. I just want to get him going. Right. I just want to see, and if it can motivate him a little bit and if it does, and then he hooks up with another world-class trainer, then why not? You know what I mean?
And I'm just wondering, I know, was he invited or did he invite himself?
I don't know. He's Roy Jones. Come on. He could invite himself.
Could he?
Roy Jones gave you a call like, hey, Christine, I want to go to your gym. I just want to work with your fighters for a day or two. Like you're gonna say no?
I don't know that I would let him work with my. Definitely let him come and spectate.
just go in there and just like I guess
pictures, playing around, and no disrespect to him. I'm just saying,
But like I like Roy. I've always been a big fan of Roy. So
no, I'm a big fan of him. He was one of the all-time greats ever. He's funny. Some things I don't. He's funny.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think that sometimes when fighters have like natural abilities, right? And like they're not
Like you're
aware that a lot of the things they're able to physically do in the ring, they don't even realize, maybe, I don't know, that they're special, and they're able to do certain things a certain way, and maybe they're even able to get away with shortcuts and not really master their fundamentals because they can get away with it, right? And
sure.
then they think, when they start training, oh, all you do is this, so you just go like that and that's it, that's what I did, and they think anybody could do it, but
Yeah.
they're not able to teach properly. Yet
Yep.
fighters like, let's say, a Freddie Roach, right, who was an okay fighter, but he wasn't like a world class fighter, right?
Right.
But he wasn't very gifted, but he learned his fundamentals, though, right? He learned the
Right.
fundamentals,
Right.
so he's able to
Which is
teach
so
maybe
important.
guys that are better athletes than him what he knows, right?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
think there's something to that?
Too. I mean, we cannot get away from the basics, the fundamentals at all. Everybody needs to know that. But there are some talents that can skip over and skip through point, and then they get exposed, as we've seen time and time again. Um, so I think needs to learn the basics, the fundamentals, and when you have a good coach, and I always say coach, I don't say trainer, because for me, paid, like it's a job. You're a number. Give me your money. I'm gonna train you. But coaches, it's
Yeah.
deeper than that. I love you. You know, I know your family. I know what's going on. I know what to say to you in the corner. I know that you have an injury here, but we're going to disguise it. I know your flaws. I know your strengths, and we're going to expound upon. I think that when you have a coach that really cares, they're going to be like, you know what? No, your feet aren't
Mm.
right, bro. We're going to go over this and over again. If we got to do it for 30 days and you're bored stiff, I don't care. Because they're not yes men. They really care that you do not get hurt. They really fucking care. That's what I say.
He's just trying to motivate Spence, get him back on the
That's
saddle.
great. If he has the sauce to motivate Spence, and
Mm.
Spence really wants to get in the ring, then I think it's great. I don't want to see him back in the ring because I do love him and I do care about him. And I feel like he's taken a lot of damage. And I feel like he has done investment wise, from what I can see on social media, that he can just ride off into the sunset on his horse with his kids and his lady. Good life.
Yeah.
And nobody can take anything away from him.
I'm getting ready for that remix. Y'all must have forgot. You know what I mean? Damn it. When I
I'm just
messed
saying.
up Cal Brooks' eye socket, you must have forgot. Like they're gonna come out with a remix. Like I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Am not chomping at the bits to see him come back in the ring. I'm not.
When they said Ugas had that Cuban style, you must have forgot. I'm just saying, like it's gonna come out. You know what I mean?
Of
But
course
but
it
but
is.
look. So you don't want to see Spence just against Ortiz, though, right? You just want to see him get beat up by Virgil
You know
Ortiz.
what? So here we go, because we talked about that. But that's different. And I'm not saying different because Spence. I don't. What I'm saying about different is I see why Ortiz wants to fight Spence. I'm not saying Spence should come back and fight him. And that I understand why Ortiz wants to fight him. He grew up in the same gym with him. He was 8 years old. Spence was 15. He was seeing him win all these nationals, go to the Olympics, win world titles. This was his idol. Who doesn't want their idol? So I can see what Ortiz is talking about. Do I want to see
Okay.
it? No. Would it make a lot of money if I'm a business person and it's going to host it and invest in it and I'm going to promote it? Hell yeah. If
Yeah.
I don't care about you and I'm going to make a lot of money, hell yeah, it's going to make a lot of money. The Cowboy Stadium, it's going to make bukus of money,
They're
you
calling him a
know?
good scalp for Ortiz's record. They're referring to him as a scalp. This
Oh,
is gonna happen.
I mean,
What are we doing?
yeah, really. I
Where's the
mean,
respect?
but we've talked. No, we've talked with Jake Paul. I mean, Jake Paul, he's going to fight AJ. He fought Tyson, a very old Tyson, but he did fight him. In the next 20 years, what is his resume going to look like? Win, lose, or draw? He's going to be known to have fought all the all-time, the iconic greats.
Hey,
I'm
by the
just
way,
saying.
Christine, what do you think about Clarissa's rapping? Somebody brought it up in the chat. So,
I am not
is it on your
a
playlist?
fan of that style of rapping. I am more old school. I don't even like the new age rapping like today. I don't know what they're saying. I don't understand it. It all sounds the same. So I am
That's
not
part of her deal,
somebody.
though. You know that, right? You know the 8 million. The part of it is the music.
Well, I think that's fabulous, and I pray to God that she makes a and she can get married, have babies, and have a wonderful life.
Yeah, I don't like the crappy style of rap either. I'm not into that style of rap.
I'm not into it. Yeah, mumble rap, exactly. I'm old school, honey. I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? And we'll have a hit. I was in Turkey, and he was there hosting Women's Worlds, and I'm sorry, Jones, but he was there performing his rap, and everybody left. I'm just saying.
What? Roy
It was
Jones?
just, yeah, care. They left. It was horrible.
Nah, Roy's got some good. Like Roy was pretty decent. At,
Yes.
at least that one
Salt
song,
and
two
Pepper's
songs.
here, and we in the yes, Salt and Pepper. Run DMC, Houdini, yes.
All right.
Old Dirty Bastard, God bless his
Now,
soul.
Roy
Yes.
Jones or Shields, who's the better rapper?
Well, Roy Jones is
All right.
more from my time, so I'm gonna have to rap. Just saying. And here I go. I'm gonna get double blocked now. Thanks, D-Style.
But by the
Appreciate
way, less rappers boxing and less boxers rapping. Like I think that'll be great for everybody, right?
you.
Like
Uh-huh.
personally.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Y'all must have forgot.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, last I'm catching a plane to Cali tomorrow. I'm going to nationals. Got three. I've got my master's girl, Crystal, and two of my. So I'm excited. And thank you, Texas Runs Boxing, for posting this. And our girl Alexis is in Colorado
Hey,
Springs, and we're getting ready for nationals in December.
we got a Texas runs boxing now, huh? Like, what's up, Ohio runs boxing? Where you at? Like, where's he at? Like, I'm just saying, all right? But
Hey, he's coming, huh?
Texas represent. Bam's gonna do his thing, all right? I think he's gonna get
Yes.
that W. Bam is the future of boxing. He's a future number one pound for pound. I think he's that good, and
Absolutely.
he's been
Absolutely.
that good. And people downplay all his great wins. Saying his opponents were old. These were reigning world champions when he beat them. All right.
No,
Uh,
they're just haters. They're haters.
Estrada is a really good fighter, and people could say he
Absolutely.
was old or whatever. Like, nah, like he did that work on Estrada. Estrada's a future Hall of Famer. He did that to that.
Absolutely.
Like Bam is that dude.
I've been
Yeah.
watching this kid since 8 years old. He was 8 years old, like literally, totally annihilating everybody in front of him. 8 years old. And then when my son was 8 years old, my son's 21 now. Bam grew out of his boxing, my son. He's not only amazing in the ring, he's amazing outside of the ring.
100%.
Absolutely.
I just want to ask you the last question.
Tomorrow I'm going to California. There's nationals there, and then the USA nationals are in Lubbock, December 6th.
Okay, so
Lubbock.
MLO's asking which is worse, rap or country? Country rap is worse. All right, when you mix them, it's bad.
Well, he didn't say rap. He said rap or country. I like some country songs and I like some rap songs. So
No, I know he didn't say that. I'm just saying, I'll just say that country rap is worse than both, right? That's all I'll say about
I like
that.
some of both. It just depends.
Is Alexis going to be at the Nationals or?
She is going to be not at this nationals in California, the
Okay.
ones in Lubbock. Yes.
Okay.
So if
Well,
y'all
hey,
plan on going, y'all will see us there.
Lubbock's not that far from me at all.
I know, no. So I'm taking
Like
two
it's
girls.
almost like if I don't go, there's like no excuse. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like that, but
See you there, bro. Hope to see you there.
I think she's
So
gonna win it.
absolutely, she's amazing. She's amazing. She's doing great. Give a shout out to you again. Thank you so much for joining me. And next week we will have our girls back, and then you can be in the comments and you bring money to us. So, um, just saying, super chats. Just saying. Any last
Yeah.
words?
And yes, country rap, it is all over. Absolutely. That's the end of the world's almost near, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invite. Glad to be here.
Absolutely.
Shout out to everybody on all the wherever you are, YouTube or X, wherever the hell you are.
Yes.
Shout out to y'all. And that's all I got.
Yeah, same. So peace, and we love to see you next Wednesday, if not before. And